Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it is a translation that was sent to us by one of our admin, and she translated the story like this. Hello, how are you? I am a slave queen, and I want to confess that I stole 30,000 rands from a guy that was from Zim. He was doing Zama Zama work in Bugersfort, and I stole the money from him. He went to his country after I had gotten him arrested on false charge of him raping me because I did not want him in my life anymore. The guy, he is in his country. I don't know, maybe he returned back to South Africa, but as far as I know, he is in his country. The situation that has brought me to you, Brother Nash, it is very tough. I don't know if you can find someone that can assist me. My name is Chantal. I am currently living in Joburg, but home it is in Bugersfort. I have been staying in Joburg for a long time. I was taken by my auntie because she saw that I was so naughty. My mother, she could not even do anything to me. I would do whatever that I wanted to do when I was still young. I can say that I started to sleep with men from a young age. When I was around grade 7, that was when I started to get involved in sexual relationship. The disadvantage is that back home in Bugersfort, by that time, there were some guys that had came to do some work. Some of them, they were doing rural electrification in our village. So I started sleeping with those contractors because they were giving me money. And when they saw that this was what I was doing, that was when my auntie came and she took me and she started to stay with me in El Dorado Park. By then, I met other girls. Oh, these girls that I met, I can say that they were predators. We were only grade 11. You would think that someone that is in grade 11, she is vulnerable. But the way that we used to steal money from guys, one cannot even imagine it. So when you are that young, you are dating your working boyfriend. I did not date like your South Africans. I would date Mozambicans, Malawans, as well as Zimbabweans. So since you are very young, when you are dating someone who is going to work, then you go to his place the day that he would have gotten his money, and he thinks that he's going to find you when he returns back from work, and you would have stolen all of his cash. As you know that most of the guys that are from outside of the country, they get paid in cash. They don't have bank accounts. So the guy will just show you that this is the money, maybe put it in a mattress, and you just see that, oh, this is where he is putting his money. Then when he is gone to work, you steal that money, and you know that there is nothing that the guy will ever do because you are underage. He's a foreigner. He does not have any papers. There is no way that he's going to get you arrested. And I was taught this by one of my cousin sisters. She was much older. What she used to do is that when she had a foreign boyfriend that she had late at night, then she would go and sleep with the guy. Then she would call me and I would go there. She would give me the wallet of that guy. When he wakes up, then the guy sees that his wallet is stolen, the window is wide open, and my cousin sister would pretend as if it was not even her fault. So I learned from my sister from a very young age. When some other girls of my own age were busy worrying about schoolwork, I was worrying about which old Zim guy was going to buy me the next pair of sneakers or to pay for my lifestyle. I was selling my body. My parents, they knew this. They could not control me. I felt so sorry for my auntie because she did not know that she was bringing such a woman into her own home who could not be controlled by her own mother. She thought that maybe she could control me. I ended up sleeping with her husband. It happened at first when we were totally drunk, but after that, I was the one that was seducing her husband. The poor man stood no chance against someone like me because the things that I would do for him, there were things that even my auntie in her age she could not do for her husband. So that is how I started sleeping with her husband. When my auntie found out that this was what was happening right under her nose, she got so mad at me and she kicked me out. That is what I wanted, to be kicked out. I wanted to stay with my friends. I then started to stay with my friends. We were doing whatever that we wanted to do. We would go to the places where we would sell our bodies and we could get money. I learned early that men, they are weak when they are thirsty. I would wait for a man just for him to be on top of me. Then I would say, give me money or we stop having sex, even if it was my boyfriend. So the guy would transfer money into my account. By the time that I was 19, I knew how to play the game, how to make a man feel so good. Then early in the morning, when he is fast asleep, empty his pockets and run away. Me and my friends, we had done this 100 times. I had been arrested. Yes, I do have a criminal record because we were once arrested after we had been picked up by a blesser who had a nice Mercedes-Benz Vito bus, and then he took us to a club. When we were in the club, we got him so drunk. We then started transferring money. His wife then noticed that there was some movement that was happening in the account, something that she did not understand what was happening. And then that was when she called the husband, and one thing led to another. He had a tracker on his phone, and the wife tracked the phone and found us with him at the hotel. We got arrested because we had transferred money. We did some e-wallets. So it was a big mess up, and eventually we finally came out of prison. But you would think that prison was going to teach me that you are not supposed to do such a thing. But in prison, we even met other women, some of them that were doing the same stuff that I was doing. So the heat that was on me, it was just too much. To calm things down, this was what I had to do. I returned back to Bugersfort because in Joburg, like the police, they were just looking at me and they were just waiting to arrest me once again if I was going to do such thing like I had done before. And there was another guy that was accusing me of stealing his phone, but he was just accusing me because I had refused to sleep with him. So it was in November when I met this guy, November of 2024. He is a Zama Zama that was from Zim. He had came to Bugersfort long before I had even gotten arrested. He was working them in the mines and they were making a lot of money. As you know, that Zama Zamas, they work too hard, and when they have money, those guys, they spend money on women. They just live to make women happy so that they can have the best sex. So I had a friend of mine that I used to stay with in El Dorado Park. We would go to different taverns and steal phones together. She was back in Bugersfort, and then she told me about these Zama Zamas that she was dating that were giving her real money. And she said that she wanted to go out with a Zama Zama boyfriend from Zim, but he had another guy. So he had told her to look for a good woman who was light-skinned so that he can enjoy some sex with that woman. And he wanted a slay queen for the weekend. Brother, we went there. We were spending money. The way that these guys were so drunk. I gave him the best performance of my life. I gave him love that felt so real. So we then brought these guys to my home. So I have my own back room. My friend and her boyfriend, they were sleeping on the floor, whilst I was sleeping with my Zimbabwean boyfriend on the bed. My friend then woke me up and she told me a secret. This was around 7 p.m. We were still drinking, and then she said, if we put snuff in their black label, they are going to sleep like dead people, and we are going to steal money because we knew that they had cash. These guys had a sling bag and they did not want us to touch that sling bag. Inside, we found 30,000 rands cash and we did not hesitate. We stole the money from this guy. So my friend, she was not supposed to be there in the morning. She was supposed to take the guy to her place. So they went to her place and they slept maybe around 10 p.m. when we had stolen the money. What we did was that before we had stolen this money, I called my brother. I knew that my brother, there was no way that he was ever going to refuse. So my brother then collected the cash. We also told my mother that these guys, they had money that we wanted to steal. So we stole that money. And in the morning, when my Zim boyfriend woke up, he looked for his bag that had money. He was confused. He asked me about his money. I acted like I was offended and I said, you remember that yesterday you did not want us to touch your bag. Give me my money, please, because you said that you're going to give me 3,000 by the end of the night. And he said, okay, let me go and see my friend. He called the friend and then they met. I did not want to leave the yard because I was afraid that maybe they were going to beat me up if I go with him. My brother, he was just hanging around with his friend who knew about this deal, and my other brother was also on the way. So when he went to his friend, surprise, surprise, when he came back, he was angry at me. I asked him, why are you angry at me? And then he said to me, you have stolen my money. I started screaming at him. My mother, my brothers, they knew the plan. They came and they started threatening him in my room because he is a Zama Zama, no passport. He was terrified of the police. My brother told him, if you do not leave now, we are calling the van. So he said, no, I want my money. Please give me my money. That was when I called the police and I said that I have been raped. The guy was arrested. Later on, they just let him go because the evidence, it was really not there. But he stayed for a little while in prison. But when they were loading him into the police van, he said to me something that I will never forget. Oh, so you think you have won. You think that you have stolen my blood, my sweat and blood that I was pouring out when I was busy mining. You think that you can just take it for free. And they laughed and they said, whatever. When he left, we then divided the money. I gave some to my mom, to my brother, as well as my brother's friend, my friend, as well as my other brother. And then I had some money. My friend also had some other money. It was good. And I did some things that I wanted to do because before I did not have money. As a slave queen, my body is my business, guys. If there is blood river down there, it means that I can't make money. Now I am falling apart. My period, they started, I think it was the time when this guy was released from prison, when he went to his country. That was when he went to a traditional healer, because my period, when it started, it did not stop. My period, the time when this guy bewitched me, I was on my period for 14 days. 14 days. The next month, I went on my period 15 days. I went to the clinic. They gave me some pills which made the bleeding to be worse. Even sacrificed to go to a private doctor, but they found nothing wrong. So right now, Brother Nashim, I am always feeling dizzy because it is not a good thing. I go on periods for 2 weeks each and every month. I am doing heavy bleeding. I have tried to reach out to other Zama Zamas in Bugersfort asking about this guy. His name was Gifted and I can't find him. The other one told me that he was deported after I had gotten him arrested and they knew about that deal that we did. Nashi, talk to your brother. I am terrified. 15 days of bleeding, it means that I can't work. I can't slay. There is no man that would want to sleep and be in a blood river. That money that we stole, it is nothing compared to the money that I am losing. This is my livelihood that we are talking about. I never went far with school, so I do not have any other qualifications. If you know a prophet, that might be willing to assist me, I would be grateful if you can hand me the phone numbers of that person. Then I can speak with them using my other numbers. So anyone that is in Bugersfort, that is from Zim, can assist me, as well as in El Dorado Park. I have a room there. I don't know if I am even going to be able to find the money to pay the rent for that room, because when I am in El Dorado Park, that site, I do sell my body, so I need that room here in Bugersfort. I just came here to visit family and to visit another ZCC prophet who told me when I visited him that the person that I got arrested, he cursed me, saying that I stole his money from him. Yes, I stole the money, but this is what I have been doing. He can't just sleep with me and give me few money when he had a lot of money. That is why I ended up stealing. It was something that I was so used to be doing. I did not know about these consequences that I am witnessing right now. When you post, please tell me, and do not tell people my real name. I think I have made a mistake by telling you my real name when I started my voice note. Please translate and do not share my voice note on YouTube. Yo, dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to us by one of our dear sister. Let us speak with our dear sister in the comment section. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. She is saying that if there is any church in Bugersfort, any prophets or prophetess that is in Bugersfort who is willing to assist here, you can reach out to me at Brother Nashi on Facebook. Let us meet again in the following episode.